Hey guys, welcome to another Age of Grogu, and I have with us as always Jason, Max, and Elijah. Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
What
Yeah,
up?
and today we are going to react to and kind of talk about, as we watch through it, the Industrial Light and Magic special, at least the first episode right now. Uh, we all were inspired, I think, by ILM from our childhood years. The stuff that was done, the stuff that we inspired to create and craft as artists, all, from my opinion, came from both Star Wars and from Industrial Light and Magic, from their visions of how they created and what they made. What were some of your guys' experiences from childhood connected to ILM?
I remember ILM. It's the first thing I remember knowing of like an effects
Mm-hmm.
warehouse. It
Right.
was
Yeah.
probably like in the early one of those early Star Wars documentaries, the making of
Yep.
Empire, Return from Star Wars to Jedi. One of those first ones that
Mm-hmm.
that clearly give you all the back detail and everything. And my other on a side note, I do have one odd memory of being with my uncle who was a plumber,
Mm-hmm.
and he lived in the San Fernando Valley. He was babysitting me for a short time,
Yep.
and we went to the ILM, their old built. This is Return of the Jedi time or whatever. So this is
Right.
like
Right.
after they had moved up. But I remember we going to that building and him pointing out to me and telling me this is where they made Star Wars.
Oh
I
wow.
remember that as a kid.
Whoa.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm like,
That
he's like,
sounds
this is
cool.
the building. They were right here in this building, and
Right.
now it was a different shop, but he was doing some plumbing thing on it. But he was
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
me that used to be ILM,
Oh
and I
wow.
still
That's
remember where
crazy.
it is. It's right over, over by the
That's
By
crazy.
the Van Nuys
Wow.
airport. But that's one clear memory I have, and it like stuck in my mind.
Wow.
You know,
That's crazy.
That's cool, man.
Max, anything
That's awesome.
anything related to Industrial Light and Magic that kind of inspired you throughout the years of doing comics and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, they've been around my whole life. Like, I was born in '95, so by the time, I was born, they were already very
Very. Oh
established.
yes, completely.
So I think they worked on probably almost a lot of the, well, not every, but a lot of the major movies of my childhood.
Yeah. Hmm.
Like everything from like, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, to even later,
Yeah.
everything.
they've just always kind of just been there.
Right. Yeah. Jason, what about yourself?
Yeah, it's always been a huge influence to me, like ever since like Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Once like when I first saw those the at walkers,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was
man,
the
that
coolest thing.
was that's what did it for me. I think that's
Oh
when
yeah.
it clicked for
Yeah.
me, like the official moment. And the fact that they were existing objects that these
Yeah.
people were like stop motion. It's like I
Yeah.
want that. And
Oh
then
yeah.
so like I spent like the rest of my life just dedicated making robots or like,
That's cool.
designing and drawing robots
Yeah. Yeah.
after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Now, for me, I mean, it was the movies came out. It was the action figures that I really liked first, but then by the age of like 10 years old, I loved what I was seeing on the making of Star Wars, and I was inspired to make my own like paper mache ships, spaceships that we couldn't afford all the bigger ships, so I built my own. And then as I got slightly older, when I turned like 13, I transferred into like everything from balsa wood building ships to eventually detailed cardboard models that kind of inspired me. And again, it's like ILM designed all of these spaceships, all of these things that I think and millions of others were inspired by. And even to this day, I still build miniature models for my toy collection just as a personal hobby. I enjoy this sort of stuff. And I'm so excited to be able to check out what and how this process has gone throughout the years. With I'm going to assume there's a lot of footage we've never seen before, archival. Anyway, guys, let's watch this episode.
Create the magic
That
that makes people want to go to the movies.
the armature for
I
that
can see things that
King Kong still exists, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh,
But
yeah, that's so dope.
where the technique
There it
is as
is.
good as the
Oh yeah.
Everything you love, every movie you love as a kid, they did everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
literally.
at that.
Everything.
Specifically for making Star Wars.
A little smile.
He's proud of that. He's proud of that. He should be.
Dogfights in space. And the S has dollar symbols on it.
I said
Yeah.
I want to do that. All I want,
Move slowly.
which is brilliant. And the way it was made was brilliant, but the shots, they were all long takes and very slow. Some of them were making home movies.
Wow.
Whoa, young
But they
Dennis
all knew
Mira
each
in
other.
there on the
Okay.
left.
Some great archival footage here.
Designs for the ships, then
Little
built the
droids in that
models
are
for the
awesome.
ships, and
That's
then
cool.
photographed the models
Yeah.
for the ships.
Journal of the Wills.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll go into the falling out between Dykstra and George Lucas at the end of Star Wars.
But at the time,
I was way back
made
then.
out
Yeah,
of
I like that
wood.
sweater.
We had one foot
See
in the
that
door,
a
John,
turtleneck?
and
found an
Yeah.
empty warehouse in
Cool.
Van
Oh, there's
Nuys,
the one you're
near
just
Havana
talking
Airport.
about.
Yeah, that's the building.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
I walked into the
Dang, I like that they go after industrial
My room, and I
designers to
figured
get
out-
that look, you know,
Yeah.
I could
or
say
like
Yeah,
any
it's
type
smart.
of instead of artists.
I had no idea what a storyboard was.
That's the secret.
I went to
If
college
you don't
with
know,
William
you tell them you
Sylvie.
do.
That's it. Yeah, it really is.
That's how I've gotten anywhere.
Crazy old photos of all these guys, man. They must have
Yeah.
turned in a bunch of old photos of
The
themselves.
double exposure.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
that's so cool.
Look at that, I'm going nuts with this shit.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of fun to think of
nuts.
how cool that must have been back in the day. Like
Oh,
those
absolutely.
effects must have been
Yeah.
amazing to them, you know.
Yeah,
Because
that's
nothing
First
else
time they
was
ever seen
around.
it.
Yeah, that must
Nothing had been
Yeah.
like that, you know. They're like,
yeah.
wow.
Kid, how
Yeah.
movies were
Magic
made.
to them.
But my mom liked
That
film,
still looks
and she
sick,
took me
though.
to
Yeah, it still
Well,
looks
yeah,
great for what it
why
is.
not? And it moves
These
faster than
20,000
2001 too. Look how quickly all the dinosaurs and
In those days, you couldn't watch the movie over and over again. There were no DVDs
cool.
or streaming or anything for them.
That's really good.
Pretty
Remind
damn
these
good.
That looks
memories of
great.
What I seen in the
Yeah.
theater, and they're
Did you guys make home movies?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that stuff. Stop motion and stuff.
I have a bunch of old
In high school.
cassette tapes I need to like convert to digital.
Yeah. I wish I had some like.
I did that in
Footage.
elementary school, man. We were
Yeah,
making
movies, yeah.
stop
really
motions.
precipitated the interest
Yeah.
in prehistoric.
Yeah, high school is when it all first clicked. Because it's when I had access to
I
the
didn't
cameras.
have any kind of a
Oh,
social
that's
life.
right.
I just spent all my famous monsters of filmland.
That's their message
It was
board.
at Christmas time down in San Diego where they used to have
Use the skills that they had to do what was necessary for the movie.
John Dykstra really is the visionary of the camera equipment and the
Yeah.
techniques. Absolutely.
They all
Oh, that's how they did it.
Yeah.
The drop of Obi-Wan. Hooch.
That was cool.
Yeah.
who were put in a car and driven through the same environment.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
At Berkeley, I met Al Miller and Gigi.
I love back in the day how kids got jobs as photographers at like 16, 17 for like
Yeah.
news publications and magazines, and
Were they Peter
Stanley-
Parker?
Stanley Kubrick working for Look magazine at like 15 and stuff like that. It just
We designed the Star Trek
Oh.
alphabet.
Nice.
Wow.
That
the font.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Nice.
Cool.
I never got a nickel extra.
Oh, Rob.
My hair started. Went back to San Francisco. Drove cable.
What the-
cars for
Jeez.
years.
They're all like Forrest Gump or something. These guys' life.
Just wayward Dharma bums.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really were. It's great.
Sounds like my 20s.
You know, every gear and every
God, they had to
welded
machine
piece
all
had
of
to be
that.
made for these
That's-
cameras.
I
that
know.
were
Every make computers and make cameras.
and start changing these designs.
Hell yeah, look at
Man,
that shit.
So cool.
Love it.
I don't
Great
remember if it was. I don't want it to look like an American car, so I put the cockpit over on the right,
That's
and
God,
brought him
he's,
to
I love his
George, and I knew
sketches. It's so
right
good.
away before I even put him on the table. He's gonna like the one where it's eccentric and off to the side. And
I was working on the Sandcrawler,
cool.
and
Oh,
the treads
these
on the
are dream
Sandcrawler were
jobs.
about 280.
Wow.
Yeah.
They didn't have super
No one
glue.
ever mentioned
Yeah.
that we were only.
And now we got Kicker too.
Yeah.
That's even faster.
20s, very few had.
Whoa! Look at that old Darth Vader mask.
Yeah.
That's
they let
cool.
us do what we wanted.
It looks like the
You could
concept
come in
art.
and escape shoot at a surplus.
Nice.
We use it as a
Gosh.
slide.
You just
Just do it all at once. It's an old Charlie Chaplin trick, huh?
Yeah.
God, it's so cool seeing all
Yeah.
of them.
Oh yeah.
So when the solenoids pull back, it's as if
Oh,
bullets are
it
blowing,
popped.
you know,
Yeah.
and then it
That's
creates
cool.
all these little sparkles. If you
Point of view than you've ever had before.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
They buy when they come for your talent is your ingenuity.
It was a nightmare.
Oh man, that must have been so stressful.
not happy.
I was not happy.
Oh, it's directed by Lawrence Kasdan.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. That's
That's cool.
really cool because directed
Wow.
by, and produced by
Wow.
Lawrence Kasdan.
Oh, it's so good.
That was
Yeah.
great.
Man.
Okay.
That was a
Wow.
great first.
Yeah.
Man, 6 more of these. That's
I'm gonna-
or 5 more.
Yeah. Whoa, guys, that was freaking awesome. There was so much archival footage there that I've never seen before. I don't think any of us have seen before.
Yeah, that was. I mean, a bunch of personal footage from all the original guys and
Yeah.
just some of that on set stuff that we haven't seen. But
Looks like
pretty
Disney
amazing.
cracked open the vault, huh?
Yeah.
Not
There's a lot of like
cracked
they
it
gathered
open,
like
but
all of it.
They filled in little gaps of even stuff that I was not aware of. Just about the backgrounds exactly of each of these people that were brought together for ILM, and it's interesting. It's whether it's us who have the same inspirational kind of connection to something that they have done, or whether it's upcoming generations. There are so many different forms of just visual and mechanical and technical elements that came together, and we haven't even scratched the surface. We're only just partway through Star Wars: A New Hope, right?
Yeah,
now.
they
It's
didn't even
like-
got to some of the
yeah.
It's like it's like a lot of like ILM's upcoming is kind of like just the general knowledge of it, but to go this much in depth
Yeah,
of like
it's-
personal stories
great.
and like the background of
Yeah.
like each of these like first members is so cool, and it's like it's a world that we don't know, a world without Star Wars,
Yes.
and they have to like kind of
Create it.
piece this thing together and kind of like
Yeah.
blindly go in this direction that has never
Totally.
been gone in. And now in this world of saturation, it kind of makes me sad, like seeing like, oh, we're running low on like scenic painters, and the opposite of that is like now we're like at this saturation of VFX artists
Yes.
who just aren't getting
Yeah.
paid enough.
Yeah.
Because like there's so much
They
skill
more or
and
less
like
created, which they continued to create by the 90s.
Yeah.
It was the same company was the innovator, so it's like So I'm curious to see
but yeah,
where this
just the
goes.
contrast of how it is today with
Yeah.
with
Oh,
this
totally.
like there's so many people who do this type of stuff that there's just not enough to go around really.
Exactly.
And so now everyone's just like underpaid
Yep.
and like to just doing what ILM was starting to do in that in those clips that we saw, and now it's just a different world right now, and it's
completely. Yeah. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We're going to be dropping more in the future, and we'll see you on the next one.